To confirm, please go ahead and hit share. You guys hit share and we get more members out of it, so please keep on hitting share. First up, we've got Zachary Enstead joining us hopefully soon. Let me post
Don't
this
see it.
up. This is our C main. We are starting with Mr. Zachary Enstead right over here with a 10505. So Zachary Enstead, if you can hear me, please join.
Yeah, I'm trying. Something's not working. It's kicking me.
Okay. Let's try with Brad. Brad Hefner with a 10505 as well. So both of them pretty much running identical times. Brad is joining us from Missouri. And if it kicks you out as well, Brad, let me know and I'll just restart it on my side. In the meantime, Justin Fowell, if you can please confirm if you guys can see it on Facebook, either post a comment or something so we know you guys can hear us and see us.
There.
Okay, I see Zachary Ansted's in there. Brad, please join us. Next up, we've got Joe.
Oh wait, did I join early? I think
Yeah.
I did. Oh, sorry.
And Joe Literillo, 10507 from him, so just 2 seconds behind them. After Joe, we're going to ask Derek Pryor, all the way from Canada, joining us. That's a 10-second difference between him and Joe, so a little further ways. Let's see if he can get within striking distance.
Uh-oh.
So Zachary Anstead is able to join, so I know the password is correct. I did not fat finger it.
It's giving me a hard time, Mo.
Okay.
Another connected operation is still in progress. What?
What I'm getting too.
Restart your games if you guys need to. And if somebody on Facebook or YouTube could confirm they can see us and hear us, that'd be great. We're going to start with Zachary Anstead with a 10505, then Brad with a 10505, identical times pretty much. Then go to Joe in third. In fourth place, Derek Pryor will be joining us. Next up is Justin Fowell. On my side, I can see that 3 people already in, so I think
Who
it's
else was having trouble?
Yeah, I'm working now.
everyone that said they had trouble is in. I see Zach, Brad, and Derek in, waiting on Justin Fowell now. And Ty, you can join us as well.
I see him in as well.
Thank you. Mark Duong just confirmed our live feed looks good. Thank you, Mark. We miss you. Come back when you can. I think you're racing in person on Thursday, so hopefully Wednesdays work out better for you. Awesome. I see Justin Fowell. Just waiting on Ty now.
Trying to join, it's not letting me.
Okay. No worries. The first 4 guys had the same problem.
Just restart it quick.
Okay. Not a problem. If you guys are wondering what this is, if you just saw this come across your feed or you saw this from a buddy sharing it, this is Virtual RC Racing. It's a video game. You're hearing us through Discord as well as our Stream OBS system. Actually, somebody just asked if they can still join. Joshua Jackson. If you qualified, you can join us. If you did not qualify for this round, you'll have to qualify for next week. This is a 4-round series that we're running this month. We always run 4-round series. Each Wednesday is 1 round. Qualifying stays open for a full 7 days for you to qualify up to 50 times. And then on Wednesdays, you will basically join and race. So if you're not part of our league, Josh, just post up that you're not part of the league and somebody will drop you a link that you can apply, and you can start running your quals for the next round as early as tonight. Alright, Ty, I see you're in. Go ahead and run a lap. Confirm once you can see everything properly, and we'll go ahead and hit start race. We will take 2 bumps. This is the C main. On my end, I see 5 racers. Everybody's buggy looks good. Lap times look decent.
Looks like everything's good for me.
Everything's good for you? Okay. Gentlemen, speak up if you need a 1-minute call.
I need a minute.
Frenchie, that doesn't count since you're not in this one, so let's go ahead and hit start race. Do not worry if you've been running a few laps. When you get placed down, you will essentially be placed down with a fully charged battery.
Fresh tires.
Fresh tires, everything's been reset. If somebody could respond back to Joshua and Morgan Jackson, that'd be great. With 10 seconds to go, we're going to switch gears and focus on the race. Oof, on the tone they go. Almost looked like Zachary Anstead timed it to perfection a little too well. It looks like Justin Fowell almost looks like cutting the corner. Did not get docked there. We do run collisions off. Ty moving up a spot. Derek having a mistake in turn 2. Brad having a mistake in turn 4. Early on, Zachary Anstead getting away from everyone. Thank you, Brian, for posting the Discord link. Josh Jackson, please click on that link. You'll be in Discord pretty much through that, and then we can help you in there once you're in there. For anyone else watching or wondering how we do this, it's pretty simple. You download the game, we'll send you an adapter. We do not own the game. It is a game being housed and hosted in France. We are in Houston, Texas. We've partnered up with Gary Crowell. We have his adapters. We can send you an adapter, and through that adapter in your own Sanwa or Futaba or whatever radio you want to use, you can join us in the game. We race weekly. Zachary Anstead early on, 29.1. Ty with the 30.9. Derek moving up to third after having a horrible start, 31.5 from him. Justin Fowell with a 31.8. Brad, 32.7 from him. Keep in mind he was right up there with the TQ, so he will get into the 29s, I'm hoping, before this race ends. We'll check back with lap times around the 6th minute marker. That is the new Kyosho MP10E buggy. It's got the two shorty packs in the front or two shorty packs in the rear, or you could just run two regular Len 10 scale batteries, the dual S system. X-Ray has moved to that infrastructure as well, I should say. Serpent toyed with it a few years ago with their, I believe it was called the S811, then they went away from it. But looks like Kyosho's bringing it back, and X-Ray's jumped on the bandwagon. I'm curious to see who else is going to go back to the 2S packs. The distance between first, second, third, and fourth are all 2.6, 2.2, 2.3, so nobody's really getting away from anyone. They're all kind of in their own race at this point, but we've still got 7.5 minutes of racing to go. Derek Pryor moving all the way up to second. Brad, who was in fifth a few moments ago, and I mentioned he's going to get in the 29s before the race ends. He's already running 29s, and he has moved up to third. Justin Fowell is battling with him. Both their buggies, if we ran collisions on, would have hit each other a few times, which is why we run collisions in off mode only. Ty with a 30.9 fast lap. Zachary Anstead is still in the 29s, but I say still like it's a bad thing. That's a good thing. This is the C main. Derek with a 29.7 now. Brad with a 29.0. So our top three guys in the 29s, fourth and fifth are in the 30s. This is what you get when you have open class qualifying and not a pro, sportsman, open, intermediate, female, kids, under 12, over 50, all that stuff. It just separates the talent pool. Looks like Zachary Anstead having a rough lap, 31.1. Derek Pryor now 6 seconds behind him. Brad is just 1.5 seconds behind him. We are only taking the top two to the B main, and the closest battle right now is what we're sticking with. I'm being told by Robert Regal that the SRX8 current Serpent is also compatible with the 2x2 layout. My understanding, Robert, is so when I say the 2S on the sides, it's one on the left side of the buggy if you're looking at it, one on the right side. On the 8, is it not both on the same side in the tray, kind of sideways? Correct me if I'm wrong, please. It's been a while since I've owned a Serpent buggy.
I don't know. I've never had a Serpent buggy, so I'm an onward guy. But I have the Nitro buggy right now. But I'm looking at the. I'll get the electric car because apparently, I didn't know. But if you run one class on an off-road day, you'd be doing a lot of waiting, and I didn't realize it.
Yes,
You turn on.
unfortunately, the off-road programs, the way they're shaping up, there is, especially at a big race, there is more sitting around time than actual track time. But that is why I encourage you all to support your local club programs that are 4 or 5 hours long, single day events. It is cheaper, the track quality is the same, racing is still good, and helps support the bigger events. If you go to a big event, I highly encourage you all to run 2 to 3 classes. I have a very simple rule. If it's a 1 day event, 1 class, 2 day event, 2 classes, 3 day event, 3 classes. But your mileage may vary, especially if you're running Nitro, because Nitro is a full-time gig in my opinion, especially if you're trying to compete at a higher level. With 5 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock, we just got a yo-yo from Hunter King. Hunter King, why are you not qualified in this session? It looks like Joshua Vigil is our TQ with a 12-lapper, Gary is in second with a 12-lapper, Greg and Billy are 11.505 and 11.507, and then Kevin is 509, not too far. The top 5 are honestly really close together, so you should race this one with us, Hunter. Especially because I think it was your favorite track.
Yeah, didn't he pick this one?
And Justin Fowell, while driving, calling it out. He said he's getting ready for Super Cup. Yes, real life racing always over virtual racing. Totally agree there. And Robert Regal just updated the thread that he started. He said the 811 is similar to the X-Ray or the Kyosho, but we've had it for years. So Robert, check out the way the Kyosho does it now. Even the X-Ray the way X-Ray used to do it, you had two 2S packs. They'd both go on the left side of the buggy if you're looking at the buggy away from you, and they would basically lay down on the left side. The way Kyosho did it is one goes on the left side, one goes on the right side, and you can balance them forward or back. So just double check. I think you may not have seen the new Kyosho setup, but I do remember the 811 and the X-Ray, old X-Ray way was identical, but the new X-Ray way is more closer to the Kyosho way. Hunter King said he had to get caught up in school. Hunter King, we know you're not going to school. So don't use the school excuse with us. I'll go with the Super Cup excuse. Alright, Zachary Enstead in the 28-second club. 28.9 on lap 13 and 14. Brad Hefner has moved up to second. His best lap is still a 29.5. Derek Pryor is now third, so the battle between Brad and Derek. Brad is currently shown as 4.6 seconds ahead of him. Derek Pryor 29.7. Justin Fowell with a 30.3, still trying to dip into the 29s. Ty with a 30.2, just 0.2 away from dipping in the 30s. Ty and Justin are having a great battle. On the screen, the pink buggy is being driven by Justin Fowell. Ty is driving in the all-white. Oh, nice pass on the inside. Here they come down the straight. We were talking about that earlier. Both of them hitting about 55 kilometers per hour. Ty goes on the outside, Justin goes on the inside. Keep in mind, this is the battle for fourth right now, and they're both separated by 0.11 according to the lap. Oh, Justin shorting that jump. That's going to let Ty get a few lengths on him. And Robert Regal just confirmed the SRX-8 is set up like the X-Ray. So Serpent, X-Ray, and Kyosho, all three are basically doing the dual 2S packs, although Serpent has had it as an option, but not a single factory driver of theirs actually runs it that way, which is not cool. I know the Kyosho, they're pushing it as the only way to do it, even though you can set it up as a 4S. I've ran it as a single 4S, it runs just fine. On the scales, it does look weird as it favors the right side. We've got a whole minute to go, and Ty and Justin are the closest battle right now. The bump spot looks like Zachary Ensted's got one of them secured. Brad and Derek, still anything could change as it's 4 seconds the difference. This is our C main. We've got 8 folks in the premier class tonight. We hope to hit the number 10 before this month ends, so we can continue doing it next month as well on Wednesdays. Robert just updated the thread saying it'll accommodate 2x2 or brick in different motor configurations. Good to know, Robert. I wish some of your Serpent buddies would actually run it. I know in Houston everybody with a Serpent just runs a single 4S.
I thought when you there's also a trend of running two shorties that are like side by side on the back of the towards the rear of the car against the rear bulkhead. I
Yep,
think
that's what
if
we're
you know,
talking about, the saddle pack style.
okay, so that's how people run it basically, like a shorty, two shorty packs,
Yep,
two
because you
S
can move
shorty
him
packs.
forward or rear and use it to weight balance. The race has finished. It looks like Zachary Enstead and Brad Hefner are going to take this
Nice
one.
job, Brad.
Yep, Brad and Derek having a good race there at the end, and the battle between Ty and Justin ended with just .1. How about that? They battled for 10 minutes and it came down to .1. Thank you, drivers, for not exiting your screen. It lets us see your lap times. Let's go straight to Park Ferme and interview with Zachary Enstead. Zachary Enstead, do you have a hot mic?
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us where you're from, what's your local club track, and what's the biggest class there?
I'm from Toledo, Ohio, and our local track is called Tarkar. It's a large outdoor 8-scale track. I like to run e-buggy and e-truggy.
And would those be the bigger classes there as well?
Yeah, and a pretty good nitro turnout for each class as well.
Awesome, good to hear. And now coming back to this race, you were originally qualified as pretty much identical times with Brad, and it looks like in the main he had a bad start, you had a good start, and you all finished 14 seconds apart. Were you challenged by anybody in this main, or was it pretty much just cruising, getting ready for the next main?
I kind of seemed to get a good jump on the start. I thought I almost jumped it too early, but I was lucky enough to where I got a comfortable lead and I made some mistakes and I was able to, you know, keep it together somewhat. But I didn't have much time to practice this week. I got one run in to qualify, so I was hoping I'd do better in the race than I qualified.
Well, you definitely did better than everyone else. You were the only person in the 28-second club. You got your first place secured. We will see you in the B main. Thank you so much.
Woo!
All right, folks, if you're still looking at my screen, you'll notice Brad missed the 28-second club by .04. On lap 4, he ran a 29.04, so we'll see him try to redeem himself and maybe beat Zach or gain a spot or two in the B main. Both of those guys will get the bump. Derek had a good battle with Brad and ended up with a 29.7. Looks like Ty and Justin had a great battle, almost running identical fast laps, 30.2, 30.3. Ty got the best of Justin at the end. That is where their races will end, but they will pick up points there. Let's move on to our B main. B main, folks, please get ready. And everybody commenting, keep comments coming. I will read them as soon as I start the race. Okay, y'all know the password for tonight. Let's go ahead and display qualifying times. Okay, so we do 6 plus 2, so the top 6 are A main. Let's go to the middle 6. Let's start out with Joaquim Bruno, better known as Frenchie, with a 11.515. It looks like our fellow Canadian Brian ousted him, if I could use that word properly, ousted him by .5. Jeremy Lidke, another
Bastard.
Canadian. So Frenchie getting sandwiched between the Canadians. 5:15.6 was his time. He's a TQ. Then Jeremy Lidke's right behind him with a 5:17. Do we have Jeremy Lidke in here? I don't think he's making tonight. He said something about coming next time.
He's
Okay.
building a kit right now.
He's building a kit. That sounds like a lot of fun, especially because it's an X-ray kit. So we're going to skip him and go to Mr. Steve Belogan, who's pretty much got an identical time like Jeremy, a 5:17. So Steve Belogan's joining us
All right,
from
hold on.
Florida.
What's the password? 03?
Yep, 0310 is tonight's password. So Steve Logan joining us from Florida, 11.517 for him. Right after him is another 11 lapper. That is John Blakely, better known as the Otter from Canada. He's got a 11.520, so 3 seconds behind Jeremy and Steve for him, and about 5 seconds behind Frenchie, who is our TQ for this main. So John, if you can hear me, please join us. Thank you. I see you in the system now. Corey Tad, if you can hear me, please join in. You're next up. Corey Tad joins us with a 11.527. Do we have Corey Tad in Discord? We do not. Okay, we're going to go next up all the way to South Texas. Anthony Chapman is the last 11 lapper with a 11.529. Anthony Chapman, if you can hear me, please join us. So we've got the entire top 4 on an 11 lap pace, which means they're going to produce some great battles. Right after them, we're going to take our bump spot, which would start with Mr. Let me make sure of that. Yep, I think it'd be Zachary Enstead. Yep, Stan is not here. So yeah, Zachary Enstead with a 10.505 did win the C main, gets the first bump spot into the B main. So Zachary Enstead, please join us. You heard him talking earlier about how this week he did not get much practice, so I think his main was pretty much a practice. He's bringing Brad Hefner to the party with him in the second bump spot. That's how they will start the race. So Brad, if you can hear me, please join us. We should have a total of 6 racers. Okay, while Brad is joining us, let's go ahead and follow up on the comments. It looks like Hunter is saying we have factory drivers at Serpent, question mark, question mark. So I don't consider them factory drivers, but if you have a sponsorship deal and you are the local brand ambassador for your local track, I considered you sponsored. So hoping you guys can do innovative stuff, or at least talk to the factory guys and listen to what they're saying. Next up, we had Jason McNeil saying, I run the Serpent 811 TTE with the saddle packs, and it is a great truck. He's talking about the E-Truggy. That is a good truck. Hunter King is saying, I'm a senior in high school. I'm almost done. Yes, I didn't know you were still in high school. And he wants to know, what is Josh's hot lap? I believe Josh was running within 2% of the world record, but the A-Main is up next. So let's see how he does
5.9.
officially. If he hasn't
had a
raced yet.
25.9.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter if it's not in a loaded server in the main. Alright, so let's get all 6 of y'all ready. Speak up now if you need a 1-minute call. Awesome. Let's go ahead and hit start race. This is the B main. Hopefully y'all can see the B main banner. In time trial, Joshua Vigil did a 25.9. Hunter King, Joshua Vigil did a 25.9, but let's see if he runs that in the mains. With 10 seconds to go, we will watch Frenchie and Steve Logan battle it out. The Otter will be in 3rd place, trying to pick up the pieces when they make mistakes.
Yep, that's right. The underdog.
On the tone they go. Honestly, Anthony Chapman got the best start there, jumping 3-4 positions right off the grid, but then going into turn 2 and 3 got a little gnarly. Frenchie trying to get away from this group right now. The group missing 1 or 2 buggies from the lead 1 second run. I think Brad's had a rough start. Anthony Chapman with an amazing start. Clocked in at 2nd, but I just jinxed him. Luckily for him, John Blakely didn't have a great start either.
No.
So Frenchie getting away early on. Steve Logan coming to the party. Zachary Anstead, after lap 1, gets the whole shot award, not just for till turn 1, but the whole lap if there's such a thing. He's moving up from 5th to 3rd. Hunter King said, let's go French fry. I don't think Frenchie likes to be called French fry anymore. But yes, Frenchie, Hunter King is rooting for you. Frenchie is awfully quiet right now. 28s from him. Steve Blogan with a 28.9. Zachary Anstead is coming to the party with a 29.6. Keep in mind, in the interview, he said he did not have much practice this week, but from what we can tell, that last main helped him get in the zone. He is putting some quick lap times, throwing some whips, shorting this right here. Gets a good run. He will hit a top speed of 60 kilometers per hour on that straight. He is just 1.5 seconds behind Zachary Enstead. Meanwhile, Anthony Chapman should be worried about John Blake. Oop, John Blakely, I just jinxed him. He just crashed, but he was catching up. Now he has to worry about Brad Hefner. John is running a new body. It looks almost like a neon yellow body with a neon pink wing. Those
Yeah,
are
I gotta be
some
different.
Corey Tyler colors. Joshua Vigil said, I doubt I will do 25s in the mains. Yep. I always like to know people's lap times in the John Blakely not having a good turn one in the actual loaded server when we're commenting on them and doing a live feed. Robert Regal said, "Go Zach, you sandbagger." I'm just joking. Zach is actually in third right now. 29.4 fast lap from him. Frenchie 28.4 leading the way right now. Steve Blogan is not letting him get away right now. Steve 28.4. Zachary Enstead 29.4. A second separates them. Anthony Chapman holding his own with a 28.9 in the middle. Brad and John having a great battle. Ironically, both of them are actually track owners. One's in Canada, one's in Missouri. They both own their own tracks. Here they are on a virtual track battling it out. Good to see these track owners having some fun time and not have to worry about customers or clients right now. Ooh, John not having a good time with that turn one. Neither is Brad. They're both getting stuck on the pipe back to back. Nobody wants to lead the other. Wow, that is literally 7 mistakes I counted in 4 turns between the two of them. We'll stop talking about them and focus in the front where Frenchie is trying to pull away from Steve Blogan. Steve Blogan is keeping him honest, still within 2 seconds. Although Steve Blogan did manage to lose Zachary Enstead, as Zachary Enstead had a bobble that cost him 3.5 seconds. And that's going to let Anthony Chapman now take over third. So while third and fourth are having a great battle, they are letting second place Steve Blogan get away from Frenchie with 4 minutes on the clock. You are watching the battle between Anthony Chapman and Zachary Enstead right now. Anthony Chapman is driving the blue TLR XC Elite. Zachary Enstead is in the white and pink and yellow buggy. Let's look at comments. Nope, we're up to date on comments. On the Discord group, it looks like Ty and Derek said they had a great race. Brad said he is waiting for his MP10E TKI2 coming soon. I'm wondering if he's going to take a TKI2 and put the parts on a MP10E, or if he's going to actually build it like that, how he mentioned. Then Ty posted a picture of a beautifully done EB48 2.0 that he put together. So it's good to see racing slowly getting back. The new normal is an interesting challenge for all of us, especially SRC racers. So good to see you guys posting pictures of your buggies. With 5 minutes on the clock, let's review some lap times. It looks like Mr. Frenchie with a 28.2. Steve Blogan has managed to close the gap to 1.5, 28.3 from him. Zachary Anstead with a 28.5 back in third. Anthony Chapman with a 28.9. John with a 28.0. Brad with a 29.1. So ironically, folks, the fastest guy on the track is sitting in fifth. That would be the Otter. 28.0 from him. He is currently sitting in fifth. So consistency and a bad start are what's keeping him from challenging the top 2 guys for the bump spot. Frenchie is trying to pull away from Steve Blogan. They keep on going back, but as of right now, Frenchie's got the biggest advantage he's had the entire race, as Steve Blogan just made another mistake. Wow. He had clawed his way back to a 1.3, 1.5, 1.3, 1.5 second distance difference every lap, but Frenchie has now managed to gap him by an entire 4 seconds. So Frenchie with some breathing room. Now Steve Logan has to worry about Zachary Enstead. I will tell you guys how far Zach is from Steve Logan once both of them go across. Oh, never mind. They just went across. Anthony Chapman now in front of Zachary Anstead in third and is 13 seconds behind. So from a bump spot point of view, 1 and 2 have a nice comfy 13-second gap. Third and fourth, though, 1.6 seconds the difference. John is coming right behind them, 5 seconds behind them. Brad is 4 seconds behind John. So John putting down some really good laps. If you're wondering how they're able to cut that corner, I can't tell you. That's just how the game works. Some corners you can do it like that, some corners you can't. We had 20 folks qualify. You are watching the B main. Next up will be the A main. We will do a spin the wheel style raffle today. The winner will get a club race entry. We ask you guys to support that class. It is $25 for the month, and the money goes towards Facebook marketing, YouTube marketing, as well as back to our physical tracks. We just made a post about a track in Minnesota where Justin Fowell, who won last month, went and paid. And Justin, how did you want me to reimburse you? You said to just not worry. What were we gonna do with it? You had messaged me. I totally forgot. Were we gonna do it in this month? Is that how we were gonna do it? Oh, Justin's got me on mute. And then Gary Crowell went to a track as well. So if you win, you have the option to roll it over next month, or if you want to use it towards that club race, you can use it, and we will just PayPal you with 8 minutes on the clock. Let's look at some lap time. So Frenchie with a 28.2, Steve Logan with a 28.3, Zachary Enstead with a 28.5, Anthony Chapman with a 28.8, John Blakely with a 28.0, still the fastest man. Brad with a 29.1. So closest battle is actually still between third, Zach and Anthony. Splitting hairs there, 1.1 second the difference with 90 seconds on the clock. First and second are trying to get away from these two. Zach and Anthony have both taken turns leading the lap. Interesting strategy. Anthony Chapman kind of overshot that one. Oh, it looks like both getting a little loose. Not an advantage or disadvantage for either one of them. The distance measured in time is 0.4 seconds. John Blakely is right behind him. If either of these guys make a mistake, John is right there for the pickings. Frenchie and Steve separated by 5 seconds. Zachary Enstead in third. We still have 1 minute racing to go. It looks like Anthony Chapman did make a mistake, so now he's going to have to worry about John Blakely right behind him. I think that pink car is is not lap traffic. It's actually your leader, Frenchie, coming around to lap third and fourth right now. He will do his best to stay out of y'all's screen and your way. Loads of racing to go. 2 laps worth at least. Here they go down the front straightaway. We were talking about that advantage earlier. There you see the difference when you spend less airtime. You can actually get on the straight quicker and have a higher top speed. Y'all are running some good lap times. Frenchie's caught up to y'all but cannot make the pass, which is fine. With 10 seconds of racing to go, he's secured his position. He is in first, getting the first bump spot. It looks like Steve Logan is also safe. He's 6 seconds ahead. So we're just watching who's going to come third, who's going to come fourth. Time has expired. You will get caught. Ooh, both of them sending it. Looks like Zachary Enstead is going to get it by half a second. Wow. The entire 10 minutes, Zach and Anthony battled it. Everyone should be done. Please don't exit your screens so we can see your lap times. I can see the positions on the left, but let's wait for the official timer to confirm what we think is who's won and who's not won. Alright, it looks like Frenchie will take the win on a 21:10.06. Steve Logan with a 21:10.12. Zachary Enstead on a 20:10.05, getting Anthony Chapman's 20:10.06. John and Brad also on a 20:09. Wow, so the entire field very close to each other. Best lap wise, it looks like John got it with a 28.0. Second fast was Frenchie with a 28.2. Third fastest was Steve Logan with a 28.3. Wow. So 2/10 separates pretty much first and second in terms of hot lap. Overall, let's go to Parc Ferme and talk to Frenchie. So Frenchie, tell us, uh, uh, I guess where you're from. I know you're not an off-roader, but what's your local off-road club nearest to you? And when you do go there, what class will you be racing?
So there's a carpet track, off-road carpet track called Traction Action that looks pretty big. That's in Long Island. It's like 40-minute drive from me. I could go there, but I think my next stop is going to be the barn. That's in Chester. That's like an hour drive from me. I did get the A-Scale Nitro buggy because Nitro is really my preference. But looks like I'm gonna need to get an electric car soon, so I can run 2 classes, maximize the track time and all that good stuff.
Gotcha. Were you worried about Steve Logan at all
Oh
going
yeah,
into this main?
we're always really close, and he was actually kept catching up to me. We were like, a couple corners from each other almost the whole race until he had a couple mistakes. What I'm really happy about is that this is the first time in my VRC life where I spent 10 minutes without crashing at all. Like I touched a pipe once, but I didn't roll over, no space bar, whatever. That to me, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Because off-road is still like a new thing for me. And this to me personally, that's my personal achievement. Like right now, like that's super cool.
No, very nice. Congratulations.
All right, we got one
Consistency
more to
is
go.
key.
Jump.
Yep. You just heard Steve Logan say we got one more to go, so let's send both Frenchie and Steve Logan into the A main. That is where they will take the bump spots. Thank you everyone for racing. Let's go to our A main. Alright, A main folks, please get ready. Let me remove the B main banner, put up the A main banner. Alright. It looks like Hunter King just said, congratulations, Frenchie. I better see a 23 out of Josh in the main. So, Josh, no pressure, but apparently you're going to break the world record running a 23. Easy for Hunter to say that when he's not racing tonight and instead is supposedly doing homework. We're going to claim he's doing homework to tease him and hope he will join us next time. Hunter just said, oh sorry, Josh just said, okay, I'll go across the finish line, turn around, and run it again, right at 23. Alright, so let's take our TQ for the night from New Mexico, Joshua Vigil, joining us with a 12.524. Next up is Gary Crowell with a 12.525. Both these gentlemen in a league of their own on a 12-lap session. Next up is Greg Harmer with a 11.505. And after that, we're going to go to Scottsdale, Arizona and meet Billy Cayley with a 11.507. So Greg got Billy by 2 seconds, 2.1 to be exact. Should be a really good battle right off the start between Greg and Billy. You can never count out the top 5-6 guys in the main. They always kind of stick together for a few laps. So Billy Cayley, if you can hear me, please join us. Let's get Billy a few seconds to join us. Alright, next up is Kevin Tyler from Canada with a 11.509, so he's 2.3 seconds behind Billy. He could get in the mix as well. We're not used to seeing so many folks outside of our normal 3-4 run together. We've got 2 Canadians in the main today, and they qualified there. They earned it. They did not get the bump. They actually qualified in there. One of them is Kevin Tyler. The next one is Mr. Brian Nesbitt with a 11.515. So 6 seconds difference between Kevin and Brian, but nonetheless, he's right there for the pickings. 1 or 2 mistakes, and he could be there. So Brian, if you can hear me, please join. Thank you. Now let's take our bump spots. All the way from France, now living in the United States, Joaquin Bruno, better known as Frenchie, 11.515. His and Brian's times are almost identical, 11.515 from both. But Brian ended up in the bottom spot of the A main, and Frenchie ended up in the TQ of B main, won it, and now he gets the bump. Right after him, let's go to Florida and grab Steve Logan. And Hunter King has just corrected me by saying, no homework for me. I am actually gluing tires. Wow, you RC guys are definitely going far in life. I said homework, and he said, nope, gluing tires. At least he's honest. All right. Corey Tad, you are asking what's the password now. You were in the last main, Corey. This is now the A main. Our passwords, as we cover in our drivers meetings, are always our date. So tonight's password was 0310. You were in the B main, so this would not be your race. All right, fellas, A main guys, speak up if you need a minute. Joshua Vigil trying to do some tricks, going backwards. All right, nobody spoke up. Let's go ahead and hit start race. Yeah, Corey, sorry. The time difference is killing a lot of us. We're gonna, to make matters more interesting, Corey, my understanding is this coming Sunday is daylight savings time, so we'll all be confused for sure. With 10 seconds to go, we are about to watch the main show, the main event. Oof, on the tone they go. Gary Crowell with a hell of a start, taking the lead away from Joshua Vigil early on. Joshua Vigil is less than a foot away. Billy Cayley taking it away. Oh my God, Joshua Vigil just threw a mad whip. Pretty much cartwheeled. No, that wouldn't be a cartwheel. I think he did a backwards flip. Not sure if he intended to do it or not, but that cost him a few positions. Luckily for him, though, Gary Crowell also made a massive mistake, is now all the way into 6th place. So early on, Greg Harmer is actually leading the way. Joshua Vigil trying to poke the bear a little bit. Joshua Vigil and Greg Harmer, identical backflips from both of them. If you guys are not watching this feed right now, you ought to. They are putting on a hell of a show, and more importantly, they're doing this while 1 and 2. Interesting lines from there. You can see how Joshua Vigil shorted it and had a better drive. Greg Harmer jumped it, overjumped it. Is that even a word? Shorted it? Shorted it. Sounds cool. All right, let's see their backflip again. No backflip this time. Neither got enough airtime. Frenchie all the way up to 3rd. Kevin Tyler in 4th. Gary Crowell having to work his way up. Joshua Vigil making a mistake. Greg Harmer now leading the way. Here it is, different lines. Joshua Vigil likes to gun it. You can see how much more time Joshua Vigil made up there just by spending less airtime. We were talking about that earlier. Wow, I don't even want to go away from the battle for first. Joshua Vigil, no backflip from Joshua Vigil this time. Greg Harmer still did a backflip. Kevin Tyler has caught up to the lead group. He's not doing any funky business. He's just trying to get as close to the top 3 as possible. Or top 2, I should say. Frenchie, currently in 4th place, has learned from our conversation earlier. He's got some good speed going down the straightaway by shorting the jump. Billy Cayley and Gary Crowell, uphill battle for both of them. Gary's now in 4th, right behind Kevin Tyler. Both Greg Harmer and Joshua Vigil backflipping again. I'm confident that's costing them 10th or 2/10 at least over there. Hunter King said that backflip, though. Joshua Vigil coming in at 47.6 kilometers per hour, drastically slower than the last lap he was on. Greg Harmer in 2nd, Kevin Tyler in 3rd. Gary Crowell was about to make the pass, made a mistake. Gary Crowell is driving very unrobotic-like. This is a different Gary Crowell. Either he hasn't had enough wine, or it's because he went and raced in real life after a year, so it messed up his virtual game. Do not worry, though, before it ends, he will be in the 26s. Joshua Vigil with a 26.7, Greg Harmer with a 27.6, Kevin Tyler with a 27.7, Steve Belogan in 4th place with a 28.2, Gary Crowell with a 27.6, Billy Cayley with a 27.6, Frenchie now with a 28.4, Brian with a 28.3. So Frenchie made one mistake that cost him 2 seconds, and he lost 3 positions. That is how tight and close this group is. Kevin Tyler now moving up to 2nd place. He is chasing down Greg Harmer while Joshua Vigil and Greg Harmer were doing funny antics. Kevin Tyler was just putting down clean laps, keeping his buggy straight. Not many whips, not any backflips. Here he is now in second place, chasing down Joshua Vigil. Can Greg Harmer slow him down? Let's see. Watch the front straight. Greg will overjump it. Nope, Kevin Tyler's got a similar line, so neither make up ground or lose ground. The the real difference we saw, Kevin Tyler now leading the way, Joshua Vigil making a slight mistake. So all three folks coming into the main, clearly you see that works. Kevin Tyler did not do a backflip, made the pass on both of them. The other two guys making or doing stunts and having I would say a solid two tenths missing there. Here comes Joshua Vigil shorting his jump, Kevin Tyler overshooting it. Both lines work. They're all running 27 seconds right now. However, on the backflip part, if they do a backflip this time, let's see how much further Kevin Tyler gets away from them. They do not do a backflip this time, so they all hold position. While all this is going on, Gary Crowell has joined the party, so the top four glued together. Probably a better gluing job than whatever Hunter King is doing right now on his tires distracted. Looks like Joshua Vigil trying to showboat a little bit too much, making a mistake. Gets dropped from the lead group. The lead group is now being led by Greg Harmer. Kevin Tyler's right behind him. Gary Crowell in third. So Joshua Vigil is in fourth. I believe Billy Cayley's just 2 seconds behind him. Gary Crowell making the pass on the inside on Kevin Tyler. Kevin holding his line with 5 minutes on the clock. We still have 50% of the racing to go. Here they come. Kevin Tyler with his line of over jumping it. Gary Crowell gets a little more on the top speed. He shorted the jump. Gary Crowell on the inside of the pipe. Kevin Tyler plays the switcheroo, comes back from the outside to the inside, but Gary Crowell in second place now. He is now chasing Greg Harmer down. Greg Harmer in one. Joshua Vigil just landed in front of second place. Clearly he knows this track so well to be able to do that confidently and not get called marshalling or you must get marshaled or whatever the system says. Looks like Gary Crowell now in second spot. It is immensely on the edge that these guys are driving, especially the way Joshua Vigil's driving right now. Making the pass on Kevin Tyler on the inside. No whips this time as Gary Crowell is in second place, leading the way to chase down first. Greg Harmer is in first. We don't even have time to do a ride along. I definitely don't want to mess up any of their rides. Billy Cayley has settled in the fifth spot. Steve Blogan, Frenchie, Brian Nisbet in 6th, 7th, and 8th. The entire field is covered by 9 seconds. If that is not close racing, I do not know what is. Let's look at some lap times while we have a moment. Brian with a 27.6, Frenchie with a 28.1, Steve Blogan with a 28.2, Billy Cayley with a 27.6, Kevin Tyler with a 27.6. Gary Crowell with a 27.1. I mentioned earlier before the race finishes, I expect him to run a 26. He's gotten that down to a 27.1. Joshua Vigil with a 26.6. 26.6. Greg Harmer still leading the way with a 27.2. Joshua Vigil in second place, chasing him down. Gary Crowell in third place, Kevin Tyler in fourth place. Greg Harmer is the one who's surprising us the most right now as he qualified in, I believe, third place, but here he is leading the way. Joshua Vigil is chasing him down. We are sitting live with them with 3 minutes to go. Let's see who throws a backflip this time. Neither of them. Joshua Vigil has the most interesting line coming through there. It's almost like he jumps to the left on purpose. Greg Harmer holding him back. This is a completely different drive from Greg Harmer. Joshua Vigil having some rough sections there, but manages to keep it on all 4 wheels. Gary Crowell has lost touch with the top 2. There's Joshua Vigil's line, but it punishes him. But luckily for him, Greg Harmer makes a mistake in the same section as well, so nobody gains or loses. But both their mistakes together let Gary Crowell catch back. Here comes Gary Crowell fighting for second place. Let's see if we can zoom in there. See the difference. Him and Greg are separated by 0.1 seconds. Anthony Chapman in the comments just dropped down saying this is the most entertaining A-main yet. Oh, I agree with you, Anthony, 100%. This is definitely one of the most entertaining A-mains we've called. I still haven't got a chance to take a sip of my yummy drink. It is so entertaining. Joshua Vigil now leading the way. Greg Harmer in second. Gary Crowell in third. Kevin Tyler in fourth. A lot of people are surprising me. Billy Cayley surprising me by not running in the top three. Greg Harmer surprising me by holding the front end for so long. Joshua Vigil putting a show on with his backflips. Gary Crowell is trying to chase him down. Greg Harmer is not letting Gary get away. He is, in fact, I would say almost holding his own and every now and then showing the front wheel to Gary Crowell. That's got to be messing with Gary's head. Ooh, jinxed Greg Harmer right there, I think. That's going to let Gary Crowell have some breathing room. Joshua Vigil, though, still doing his antics, currently 2.2 seconds in front of the entire field. I'm saying it like it's a big difference, and it truly is, because these guys fight with tenths. Here they are 2 seconds apart. Billy Cayley is 1.2 seconds behind Kevin Tyler. Let's see how long Kevin can hold him back. Joshua Vigil now coming around to lap Frenchie, who, mind you, is running very good consistent lap. Whoa, tries a backflip, bails halfway through. Interesting strategy from Joshua Vigil. Realized the backflip's not going to work and bails. Interesting. I would love to see their radio's telemetry to see where they're on the brake, where they're on the accelerator when they're midair. With 20 seconds to go, it looks like Joshua Vigil is going to get away from Greg Harmer. Gary Crowell, though, is chasing down Greg Harmer right now. This one will be the most entertaining main if Greg Harmer can hold Gary Crowell back. I can't even imagine how much pressure these two drivers have on them right now. Time has expired, so it is going to come down to the wire. Can Greg Harmer hold Gary Crowell for a few more corners? Here it comes down the front stretch. It looks like Gary Crowell sending it full, and Greg Harmer does hold him back by 2/10. Again, that's what I see. Let's wait for the official results. Let's not get too excited. Joshua Vigil, though, should get the win, showing 3.6 seconds. Whew.
Good run, Frenchie.
Good job, Steve. Completely got
Yes,
me.
very,
Started.
very exciting stuff from all of them. If you're
My
looking at
goodness.
the screen, these are the official times now. We can confirm Joshua Vigil with 22 laps takes the win. 26.6 fast lap from him. Greg Harmer with a 22
Oh, I had to
10
make up for the last
14,
one.
26.8 from him. Gary Crowell with a 22 27.1 fast lap from him. Kevin and Billy do finish on the same lap, 22 laps. Then the last three guys all finish on the same lap, 21. Looks like Steve, who lost to Frenchie in the B main, gets Frenchie in the A main. Brian getting sandwiched between their war. Good lap times from everyone. Both are bump spot guys, not managing to get in the 27s. Very impressive that they still managed to hang with them. So let's go to Parc Ferme and start our interview from the third spot finisher, Gary Crowell. Gary Crowell, would you like to thank any sponsors?
Yeah, sure. I can thank Beach RC and JQ Racing. As usual, got great stuff and got more stuff coming. So, waiting eagerly to see that.
Awesome. And I've been asking you this for a year. First, I would ask, are you worried about these guys? Then it turned into, hey, the young guns are here. Are you worried about it? Then it turned to be, hey, your experience is beating the speed. Good to know. Now I'm going to ask you, they beat you. How does it feel?
Oh, it was fun. I really goofed up the first few laps there, and had a heck of a race to make it a race in the second half.
Gotcha. Do you think it has anything to do with you racing in real life last week for the first time in over a year?
No.
No? Okay. I was just
No,
curious.
I got a lot of track time here, and because we had the regular VRC series here just the week before, so
Right.
I've got hundreds of laps here and did great, and so did Hunter. But where's Hunter?
He's in the comments gluing his tire, asking if y'all want to run an A2, so maybe y'all can run that at 8 o'clock, an A2 just for y'all. But congratulations on your third spot. Looks like this is going to be an uphill battle. I know you are our February champion, but for the month of March, I think Josh and Greg have something for you. So, should be a fun battle.
I think as the July, August, September, October, November, January, and February champion, I have something to say about it.
I am looking forward to this battle. Thank you for your support, and we look forward to seeing you next week. All right, let's go to second spot, Greg Harmer. Greg, can you hear me?
Hello.
Hey, hell of a drive, especially the 80% of the race where you led the race. So first tell me how you did it. Then tell me, did the backflips entertain you or did they throw you off?
Well, it was pretty cool. I wasn't really taking it that seriously because I didn't really know I was gonna race until about 5 minutes before qualifying ended. So I just kind of tried to have fun with it, and then the backflips were just an addition. That was hilarious. I had myself muted, but I was laughing the whole race, which kind of took away from the pressure, which actually kind of helped me. Believe Funny enough.
So maybe in your real life you can just be that driver that's on the driver's stand laughing the entire time for no reason, taking it easy, having fun, and you may do better. Some people do better when they're not focused.
Yeah, I'm sure my dad's gonna yell at me for those backflips I was doing though. Like,
Well, it
stop.
looked really good. My understanding is you've picked up a sponsor for this year, so I'm going to ask you, would you like to thank any sponsors?
Yeah, currently the only one is Techno, but thank you to Techno. They've pretty much changed my life. It's pretty much the only car I've been running my entire life.
Awesome. Congratulations. We hope to see more battles in the next 3 weeks to come. We will now go to the first spot finisher, Joshua Vigil. Joshua, can you hear us?
Yes.
Hey, so what about those backflips, man?
Bro.
Just basically exactly what Greg said. I wasn't really taking it too serious, but once I failed a backflip, I went a bit of concentration to catch back up, and then I just didn't really try or get too serious after that.
Okay, because that was my next question. Your backflips early on changed to no backflips at all, and it kind of seemed like you were getting a little focused and pushing a little more. So I was wondering if initially you were just screwing around and later on you were actually trying to do good. Your lap times were quicker later on than they were earlier on. On lap 14, you ran your best of 26.6. I believe in practice you ran a 25.9. So different drives in the first 50% versus the last 50%, or were you just adapting to how much of a lead you had?
I think it was just adapting to a 2650 because I ran a 1900 in qualifying,
Mm-hmm.
and just jumping to a 2650 is completely different.
That it is. Well, congratulations on your win. You are starting off the month of March leading the way right now. So I think you'll have the best points and the best advantage going into round two. I hope you can carry this momentum. At this point, would you like to thank any sponsors? My understanding is you picked up 2 new sponsors this year.
Yeah. Thank you to Techno and AKA
Awesome.
for
Keep going. Thank your sponsors.
for giving me a spot on the team.
Awesome. Yeah. By the time we are done with this league, you youngsters are going to be pros at interviews. Keep in mind your sponsors love to hear you mention their name and what you like about them and spread the love. So it's good to see you guys repping your sponsors. Congratulations on your win, Joshua Vigil. You will be getting the most points after round one. You got 50 points for your qualifying in first, and then you get 100 points for finishing first here. So this will be an uphill battle for Gary Crowell, Greg Harmer, Kevin Tyler, and Billy Cayley. And if Hunter King decides to race with us, him as well. So that is how the racing part of the program concludes. Now let's have some fun. Not like we haven't been having fun. If you can see my screen and confirm you guys can see a wheel spinning, that would be great. Meanwhile, you guys confirm that. We have a comment from Mr. Faisal Dharmawan. He said, wow, how can I join this race for next time? Faisal, it's very simple. You download the game VRC Pro. Once you've downloaded the game, get in our Discord group. I believe Brian dropped a link early on in the same comments. Click on that, get in Discord, get the game, and then you can race with us weekly. We race every week on Wednesday, and we have a free class and a paid class. The paid class is $25 for the month. The free class is obviously free. Yeah, you can definitely join us. There's no, it's not like a exclusive club or anything. You're more than welcome to join us. We've got about 40 racers that race with us in a rolling month. About 25 to 28 of them are regular weekly racers. So We'd love to add more people. Can somebody in Discord or YouTube confirm what they can see on the screen?
We got it.
You got it? Okay. So let's spin our Wheel of Names. The winner of this tonight's program will get himself a $25 credit towards a practice day, club race, big race. It doesn't matter. Brian said slow spin wheel. Yeah, it goes fast initially, then goes medium speed, then goes to slow. It looks like Brad said amazing run by Josh. Kevin Tyler said good times once again. Yes, great times. And then Brian is hoping he wins this one. Brian is in the paid class. He did PayPal us. We're hoping he wins. We're also hoping all of the other members have a good shot. Keep in mind, 4 of you guys will win. We need 10 every month. As of right now, we've got 8. So if you're on the fence, please consider joining us. And somebody let me know when they can see who won. I'm cracking up because I already see the winner on my side. There's about a 5 to 7 second delay. So once you guys see who wins, let me know.
So slow.
Let me know when you guys can see the winner so I don't ruin it for anyone.
Gotta be Jeremy.
Jeremy, yeah.
Congratulations to Jeremy Lidkey. He is probably watching our feed on the side as he's building himself a beautiful X-Ray. I couldn't tell from the pictures, but I think it was a Truggy. He's building himself an X-Ray XT8 Truggy. I just heard somebody say hello. But yeah, so congratulations to Jeremy Lidkey on winning tonight's raffle. If you go to a club race in the next 90 days, please send us a receipt. We would love to reimburse you. Take a picture with the track manager, and we would like to post it on our Facebook page where we can say that we're supporting this brick and mortar track 1 entry at a time. It's not much, but it's the least we could do. So that's how the paid premier class works. The folks, this is coming from the folks. It's not coming from me. It's not coming from a sponsor. It's our premier class racers that are doing this for our track. So congratulations to Jeremy Lidkey. I just took his name out. So everyone that's still left in here, you will have 3 more opportunities to win in the month of March. Thank you everyone for joining us. It is 8:01 p.m. This will conclude our program for tonight. We will see you guys next week where I believe we are racing in Montpellier. Montpellier is a really fun track. So qualifying will open for Montpellier 30 minutes from now. You guys will have 50 qualifiers and we'll meet this time next Wednesday. For the mains. Remember, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time will be the drivers' meeting. 7 p.m. Central Standard Time will be the races. My understanding is this coming Sunday will be daylight savings time, so hopefully by Wednesday you guys have adjusted. Thank you, everyone. Let me conclude the program, then